What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Tilt Arcade. We're doing this Teppen style, and I wanted to actually make this video because they just recently updated their news info, and the word is that a new hero is going to arrive in November. So there was always a lot of speculations about who they could be releasing next after they just recently released their Jill Valentine. And there was a lot of speculations on what character they were going to release. And from the looks of it here, this is the news tab. And if you can see on the second row, it says a new hero arrives in November. This was news that they actually posted on September 13th. For anybody maybe who is familiar with this character, maybe they might have been able to spot it before actually seeing a full image of the character just by looking at his bionic arm. As for myself, I had no clue as to who this character was going to be. So out of curiosity, I went and checked out the link. So let's go ahead and follow that. We'll switch over here to our Firefox browser. Go ahead and open that now. And lo and behold, the new character that is going to be coming up in November is none other than Devil May Cry's Nero. So for those of you that are not familiar with the character Nero, Nero had his first appearance in Devil May Cry 4. He was in the Order of Sword. Later he does actually turn against the Order of Sword as he discovers a conspiracy amongst the Order. So there's a picture of Nero himself. Nero is a teenager, and if you look at the lineage, according to this Wikipedia type page that I found, he is the nephew of Dante and the son of Virgil. He uses his devil-like power to hunt demons, much like his uncle Dante. So I'm not too familiar with the card Nero myself, as I think the furthest I actually got in the Devil May Cry series was probably Devil May Cry 3, and I think now, as of now, they're probably already on like their fifth or like sixth installment of the game. So I've been far removed from the actual game itself. But there he is, ladies and gentlemen. There is Nero. Now I can imagine that they'll probably release Nero in the same fashion they did with Jill Valentine, right? So they'll probably do the release of Nero probably very early on in November, followed by a Grand Prix. So there'll probably be a Grand Prix. And then there'll also probably be news of a new card set that will be released around that same time. Probably Devil May Cry themed, much like our Day of Nightmares was Resident Evil themed when Jill Valentine came out. So here's some things that we can definitely speculate. We all know that that it's so far in Teppen, each character has kind of like their counterpart, right, or their other character from that similar game, right? So like Chun-Li has Ryu. Who else is it? Nergante has the other Rathalos, the fire-breathing dragon, and so forth, right? So we knew that was kind of coming along. Jill Valentine was kind of coming out with her counterpart being Albert Wesker, right? So that left a few other people to actually speculate that the characters that they were going to release next was going to be either a counterpart to Mega Man, who hadn't had a character counterpart in the game Teppen yet, or Dante, which obviously they did, or the other would be Morgan. Morgan doesn't have another character similar to her in the game Teppen. So assuming if they continue to follow this pattern, we know that the next character after Nero, probably to be released probably sometime in January, will probably be either from the Mega Man universe or probably from Darkstalkers. That's just my speculation. I could be wrong about that. But if they continue down this path, that's probably what's going to happen. Other things we could probably speculate is what type of cards Nero is going to have. Obviously, I don't think that they're going to replicate Dante's purple deck style. I highly doubt that's going to be the case. And I don't think it's going to be red either. only because you already have three characters that already have the red theme. Remember, you have Ryu, you have Rathlos, the dragon from from Monster Hunters, and now they just recently released Joe Valentine, which is also a red type deck. So I don't think that they're gonna release yet a fourth red type deck. So that seems highly unlikely that they're gonna go that route. So that leaves a few other options here. They could do green, which is more like your health. That's booster, HP booster, that kind of thing. A shield giving kind of like card deck, much like Chun-Li's deck or X's deck. But they're probably gonna want to maybe go with something that's they maybe even have it become like a dark deck, much like Nergante's deck, the dragon from Monster Hunters, only because that seems to kind of follow Nero's kind of like characteristics from the video game. So my bet is on it being a dark black deck, much like Albert Wesker and Nergante. But you never know, it could very well be a green deck. So only time will tell for sure. But it'll definitely be very exciting when that comes out. And I will definitely be covering more news as more things are being released. I don't know a whole lot about Nero. As I said, I only got up to like maybe Devil May Cry 3. I didn't really play Devil May Cry 4, so that's where he makes his debut. And there is a wealth of knowledge on the internet regarding characters like Nero and Dante and the whole gang. So I would highly encourage you to just kind of like look him up if you don't already know, or if you're not already familiar with the character himself. So that's what we have so far. And see, this is Devil May Cry series, Nero, and new card set. So new card set, most definitely. Scheduled for release in November 2019. Details will be announced in the future. So they've actually been pretty good about releasing details as details come out. And of course, there's also other really cool things you could check out in the news feeds here, like the Teppen World Championship 2019, sponsored by Amazon. So a lot of really cool things that you can kind of check out. The website has a lot of interesting details and that kind of thing. So I think what I'll go ahead and do is I will go back and actually play a game. Let's see, play around, why not, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and close out. That was a really big thing for the actual video for today. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. For any of you who have actually seen my recent videos about my strategy about ranking up, it's been kind of one of those ongoing processes. I was previously playing with Albert Wesker, and I got my deck to be actually somewhat a decent deck, but I kept kind of, rising in rank and then falling in rank. So I decided to switch it up just to kind of get the creative juices flowing. So I switched over to the Mega Man deck. So I'm going to go ahead and play a ranked match. I'm currently ranked C5 or tier C5, and I have 2 stars. So let's see if I can add another star to our rank list here. Let's go ahead and jump right on into it. So it gives you some info and some tips as you're waiting for your opponent to be found. Going against Ryu, ranked B2. He's probably waiting to bring out like a very powerful card, I imagine. Oh no, Neon Kennedy, that's so. He's got some other cards being played right now.
maybe hurt yourself.
It's not over yet. I'm just getting started.
Systems fully charged. All right, this should come in handy. Time to repair. Throw down your weapons and surrender.
Prepare yourself.
Power to end all conflict.
It's time.
I had a feeling he was going to be bringing out a very powerful card. That's why he was waiting so long. It's not going to entirely take my guy out, as that only does damage of 6. Oh, I stand corrected. It did.
All right, this should come in handy. Time to repair.
And the opponent surrendered. Okay.
It's up to me to find my true purpose.
Well, there you have it, folks. Just added another star to my rank. Hopefully I can actually get 2 more so I can move on to rank C4. Alright everybody, so that has been our show for tonight. If you're enjoying the content, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure to subscribe. Once you subscribe, go ahead and hit that like button. Let YouTube know that I'm putting out some solid content for your enjoyment. And make sure to smash that like button, as I desperately need likes. Pretty please. Alright guys, until next time, see you later. Bye now.